Thank you for joining Waking Up with Tea. So today it's a warm day out. My niece is having a gymnastics showcase. So that all the kids can show like how they progress with their gymnastics skills. So that's where I'm headed. I'm really excited. My niece is almost 5. She turns 5 in August. She started gymnastics when she was 2 or 2.5. And aside from like most of the pandemic months, she's been in gymnastics like that time frame, give or take a few months here and there. So it's really cool to see like video footage of when she started, when she was like scared and nervous to walk on like a bar alone versus now, she's more confident and brave. And even though she says she does get scared of this one thing in particular, I forget what the apparatus is called. I used to watch gymnastics a lot, so I should know this. But she says she gets scared of it, but she's still really brave and she does it, so it's really cool to just see her progression. And she gets so excited to go to gymnastics. And when she's done with gymnastics, I'll ask her, what was your favorite thing today? And she'll say, everything. Sometimes she'll have one answer, but usually her answer is everything. And I say, everything? And she says, yeah. She loves gymnastics. So that's good. I think this is something that some people don't realize, and I want to mention this right now. So I'm not saying that kids should be booked and busy constantly with activities. I don't think that's necessary from my perspective, but I do think it's really great to expose kids to a variety of activities. And like, this isn't Parks and Rec, but there's a lot of parks and recreation activities for children in communities, across the United States. Sometimes people don't know this, but if you can't afford to put your child in one of these activities or these events, because sometimes there's events like mother and son tea parties or dad and daughter dances, and there's a fee for that, you know what I mean? So sometimes if you want to participate in those events or you want your kids to participate in activities, sometimes there are like scholarships in the community where you can get like a reduced cost or get it completely paid for. So the reason I'm mentioning this is if you or anyone you know has children in your life and the children are interested in joining activities, or you as an adult think that the child will love certain activities, check with the local parks and recreation. And if the cost is too steep, because of course I know that like it is a lot to put children in activities. Some people don't know how to drive, so it is a lot. Where they think they're going. Okay, it is a lot of money to put kids in certain activities, especially like certain sports. Then you got, the older they get, the more competitive, the more equipment, the more money involved for travel, whatever. But I'm just talking like smaller children right now, at the parks and recreation level. Check your community, because it's a great way for all kids to be able to get involved, not just kids that have access to money, whose family has access to money. Because, look, I know that it's not always easy to ask for help. Like, I know that. I have had to ask for help recently, and it is not easy to do that. But I am a believer that resources exist for them to be utilized when they're actually needed. So if your community has resources like money and scholarships for your child to be able to learn t-ball because you can't afford it right now, or their parents might not be able to afford it because the pandemic like made them lose their job and they're like behind in resources and see what is available to you and your family, and to like honestly enrich your child's life and get them exposed to different activities that maybe they will develop a passion for, or maybe they already have, and it'll get them involved in something they can continue through life. Because that is something where it sounds cheesy, but you can't put a price on those things, those activities. There's not a true price for an activity that like has enriched your life and that you can carry with you throughout life. You know, that's priceless. And the reason I'm saying this is because I was exposed. My twin and I were exposed to a lot. I can't speak for my little sister because that's like, she was of a different generation, so I'm just going to speak for my twin and I, our experience. We were exposed to a lot of different activities, and I'm so thankful that my mom really looked into like what activities were available in the community and made it happen for us, because I feel more well-rounded because of that. You know, maybe that's a whole other video of like sharing all the activities I was involved in, the different sports. Because I think sometimes what people don't realize is like, you don't need to, your child doesn't have to be the track star, your child doesn't have to be the head cheerleader, your child doesn't have to be the star basketball player. Like, your child is simply a benefit to them and enriching in their life, to move, to get active, to meet other children, to meet other families, to just be out in the community and learning new skills, you know? Like, it's a really important thing, I believe, in a child's life. I am biased because I did have a childhood that was very active and busy. And like I said before, your child doesn't have to have a life that's like super booked, you know. I'm not saying that at all, but just to be exposed, you know, sometimes to different activities is a really important. So I just go to gymnastics. So thank you for joining me, and I might film a little bit later. If you hear some noise, it's the air conditioner, because I don't think my temperature gauge is right. I forget what the high was supposed to be today, but I think it was 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now my car says 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like 4:30 p.m. So, but yeah, ciao, be right back. I got a little. Good job, baby. Okay, ready. Okay, you ready? Yeah. I love you, princess. I love you. Good job. You hold them? Good job, Mama. Please, I know. Just go down. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you just saw, there was a clip of my niece, her name being announced and her going up to get her certificate and a medal. So just want to explain what that was. Every child was called up for that. And this was an event where preschoolers were showcasing their gymnastic skills that they've learned. So the pictures that I posted don't really show the sheer number of children that were there. I'm trying to like give an estimate. There were a lot of children and a lot of family members. I would say there maybe were at least 60 children. I could be high on that. It was a really fun event. So they had like different stations. So like my niece was paired with some other children that weren't necessarily in her regular class. But then there were the coaches that would help the children out. So they started off with like a performance to We Will Rock You by Queen. And then there were the little stations, like they'd go on the trampoline to show their different jumps. They would do like a little obstacle course. They would go on the bar. They would go on the balance beam. And you'll see some of those pictures throughout this little slideshow. I do want to let you know that in addition to her parents and myself being there, a lot of her dad's family were there. They traveled 3.5 hours to show up for this event, which was so wonderful. And I didn't include any pictures of them because I would have had to ask each of the adult family members, and I did not get the clearance to, post pictures of them and their children. So I want to let you know that my niece's grandparents, this is all from her dad's side, showed up. My niece's 3 aunts, her uncle, her 6 cousins, they're all girl cousins, they showed up. So she had a lot of family support. You'll see right now her dad gave her flowers at the very end. And you'll also see some pictures with her parents, with myself and my niece, and with myself, my niece, and my little sister. It was a really great event. There was a lot going on because in that big gymnasium, there were different groups of children at the different stations. Like, not a lot of adults planted their bottom on the freaking bleachers and just watched the children. There was a lot of activity going on where, like, the adults would come and go and walk right in front of you. Okay, let me just say that's not good etiquette because, like, all of us were there to watch a child, at least one child, right, that we loved. So, that was, like, my only complaint was, like, in an event like that, there is a lot going on. Of course, you want to get your good pictures, but, like, we're all there to see someone really special in our life. And so it's best in any setting to plant your bottom on the seats and just watch the child you're there for, If you need to get up once, but it was a lot of walking back and forth, let me just tell you that. And then at the very end, what we did was we celebrated by eating Mexican food. You'll see online the birria, I can't pronounce it, tacos, and where you dip them in a broth. I'm going to discuss this further, explain the different parts of those tacos in a mukbang video all on its own. But my niece did such a wonderful job. She knows that she's become a lot more brave and confident through this process. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it all the way through, OMG, thank you so much. You are a real one. Please make sure you comment down below the emoji, the trophy, #trophy. Also, don't forget to like this video, share, and hit that notification bell so every time I upload, you are notified. And finally, there is only one you, so don't forget to take care of you. Bye, you guys.